All right, there we go.
Catch a nap.
All right, we're good.
Oh.
We got it.
Shit, I was hoping I'd catch a nap by the time you got it right.
Let me get the audio going on.
Here, audio
Give
up.
1 second. All right, so here we go. Let's get it started.
Oh, yeah, you started on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, we're back. We're back
Our
with
6
you.
beer guys minus one another technical difficulty.
We're good. No technical difficulties except for
He's
that
sucking
last,
on eating a hot dog.
video.
So
It's pretty good. It's good
another
stuff.
thank you to Jim for that.
Yeah, let's probably turn this around. Jim? Yeah?
Yeah.
This is his little event over here at his house.
So this is
Cook
his
some
annual Celtic drinking party.
Awesome,
So that's why we're
awesome
here.
burgers with some awesome barbecue sauce.
So anyway, we're gonna make it a little shorter today, and we're gonna do some whiskey with some Jim later. We're gonna get to the beer. At least pour it out, let you see what it looks like. Again, it's Storm King Stout by Victory, aged in bourbon barrels. Adds a real excellent character to it, and this was I don't want to call it a specialty item, but it was what 300 cases, and you had to get in the lottery ticket to get one.
Yep.
So Jim got lucky enough to.
Yep.
We figured we'd ask nicely if we could get a bottle, and then otherwise he was going to get stabbed. But he gave us a bottle, so that was nice of him.
Yeah, we didn't have stabbing that time. But you know, that Dave guy.
Yeah. You know that guy too? That fucking guy.
Alright, so let's get this thing started. We have, gonna bust open this guy so we know what he looks like. Come on, on, champ, let's go. You got it?
Oh, look, a quart.
Look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, look at that coming out of there.
That's where the hell's it? A little bit of head on that one. You
think?
Where'd you go to school to learn how to pour?
Everybody loves good head. Shut up.
So we got a little chocolate head on here. It looks like a milkshake.
A little chocolate head and cries about it.
Yeah.
No, actually, you can see it's settling out quite rapidly here, which is nice. But it's already a stout, and then this has been aging for a little bit. Jim's had it cellared, so hopefully a year from now we can get one more out of him. And we'll see.
Yeah, you have a lot of small bubbles. Those big bubbles there are just kind of a crappy pour. I wouldn't worry about that.
Taste is what counts, all right?
Everything else seems to be good with it. It's got a nice little aroma off it, I believe. Yeah, nice little bourbon-y aroma.
Oh, yeah. You get that real nice bourbon, real nice vanilla.
You got a nice vanilla is right, yeah. You got a little...
It's melded very well with the bourbon from the barrels, and
little slight licorice.
Very rich character,
yeah, it's very good.
Just coming from the aroma.
Very good character. All right, so let's get this party started. Here we go with
couple of articles.
2 articles today because there's nothing in the news, and
news has been shitty this week.
Really, there's nothing going on in Philly outside of just happy hours.
Yeah,
for
and
next week.
being today is St. Patty's Day, that's all we could find is every bar in the area was doing something for it.
Right.
So,
well, here's the first one. The first one actually is kind of cool. Beer World sets environmental gold standard. This comes from Canada, where they had for the past 80 years.
Basically, they've been
the
recycling
beer industry
the beer
has been recycling the beer bottles It began out of economic necessity because it was cheaper just to bring them back in instead of buying new ones.
But every time you see the 5 cents redeem on the bottle, Canada started that. You give us the bottle, we'll give you a nickel, and they get to recycle. It's less waste, so it controls littering, gives people a little money back, reuse, recycle.
And it helps out. It helps out the breweries because they don't have to go out. They said in Ottawa there's about 1.2 bottles that are sold, and they get 900 million of that back.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good. You only giving up 300 million. That's not bad.
If you're getting better than 50% of your stuff back from usage, how do you lose? So
now that's
to Canada.
That's an awesome way to recycle. So being a homebrewers, that's what we do. We just recycle everything as well.
Yeah. Some of our bottles we've been reusing for 3 years, and you're talking brewing every couple of weeks.
Right, and they said in that article that most of them go through 12 to 15 times reuse.
Oh, I can.
And then they're done. So, All right, so getting on to the last article of the day.
So the last one,
This is awesome. This is just
it's awesome.
college all over again.
Yeah, basically, for as much as we're going for the big rare beers, the expensive stuff. Top 10 cheap.
All right, let's
beers.
go one by one. Yes, no. Let's go.
Lord.
All right, number 10. Weighed in number 10.
This was a tough list to read. I'm gonna say that.
Natty Ice.
Natty.
How do you feel about Natty Ice?
That's probably a good way to put
it. I say no on that. That was terrible.
No, that should not have been. I don't know. I don't know what they were actually using as a criteria for this.
Well, it's pretty easy. They all suck ass.
Well, that's it. But there's some cheap beers that aren't that bad, and they've got the top 2 or 3 are okay, but
Keystone Light.
It was tolerable.
See, I thought Natty was still better than Keystone. I would say that's probably a mid-range.
Still tastes like what they look like.
Beast,
Piss?
Also known as Milwaukee's Best.
Oh yeah, good old Milwaukee's Best Beast.
That was god awful, but I never noticed the difference between that and Natty.
So,
I think it's the same vat that it all comes out of.
More dog.
Duff light.
Duff dry. So number 7 was the Genesee Cream Ale,
which is the most artistic of them all, even though it's the most redneck of them all.
Yeah. Look, we went. We experimented once.
I say yes to that one because that one actually had a subtle flavor.
Yeah,
not much of one, but it had subtle. All right, so Big Bear. That's not one.
Big Bear is a malt liquor. I've never tried it, but all right, malt liquor.
Right. Yeah.
I've
exactly.
never had one I've really liked.
No, so. I mean, the only way you got that was if you really want to get hammered your freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so here's another one that I've never tried called Schmitz. I've seen it. I've just never gotten it because
you remember the SNL skits.
Yeah. It just right. Look at it and just knew it was cheap. So
all right, so I'm going to sub in here as Dixie beer. I've never heard of that, but I'm going to sub Black Label from West Virginia. That was, I don't know if it was exclusive to West Virginia, but I remember having a 6-pack that cost $5. Got it at Kroger's. And I dropped one of the cans accidentally. It's made out of such thin aluminum that it blew up.
Wow. That's like Molson Triple X.
Yeah. Talking about that, number 3, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Good old PBR.
That should be number 1. That should be number 1. Because that...
No, it still sucks.
It's horrible. It's the worst one out there. But at the same time, it's, they made a great comeback. People drink this stuff.
Yeah, somehow the hipsters have embraced piss in a can.
Piss in a can, that's right. Piss in a can ain't so bad when it's filtered.
Yeah, well, I'll take you.
All right, Schlitz.
Schlitz.
I mean,
gives you the Schlitz.
Who doesn't like Schlitz?
Gives you the Schlitz.
And number 1 is Narragansett. Yeah, and I thought Narragansett had some premium beers now, like some real...
I'm sure they do, but this is like...
Maybe I'm thinking of a
maybe it's something
brewery.
like, it's... Coors is Coors, but they still own stuff like Blue Moon and these others that are decent beers. But their home beer is still Coors Banquet beer, whatever the hell they call it. So.
All right, so one honorable mention. Who would you pick?
God, so many choices. No, actually, I'd go with Miller Lite, only because it's one of those beers you can just keep drinking. It's always cheap. That's one, you're trying to keep drinking beer, but not keep getting drunk. It'll level you off, and you're just putting water away. Miller Lite's got to be my runner-up. Actually, I think it should be number 1 because it's tolerable to drink.
I say Ice House because that's the first beer I ever drank, and that stuff was pure wretched nastiness. But at least it had like a 6% content, and it could just level you out after like 6. That's it.
Ice House, God, I forgot.
Oh man, so
we probably should have gone and actually looked at cheap beers to see what's still around. So
I hope that's not still around. All right,
let's wash that taste out of our mouth.
All right, let's check this guy out. You can get the aroma, just have it sitting here. The aroma comes back to you. I mean, this guy is
pretty sure the
so
bourbon
rich.
fumes are making my eyes water. Good rich character.
Mm-hmm. Still a little sharp. This is aged for 4 months.
Yeah,
still a little
4
sharp.
months makes it young.
But
it's also chilled. It's not cold, and a lot of these beers you actually want them chilled, not like don't throw them in the fridge all day. Throw them in for an hour.
I remember the first time we had this. The hops were really in your face. The hops have toned down a lot in 4 months.
Yeah, now the bourbon's kicking.
Yeah, and it's on the way of becoming a great beer.
Oh yeah, like I said, maybe a year or 2 from now.
Maybe 4 more months.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say let's see if we can make this a winter warmer kind of idea.
It's definitely a warmer. You get that. You get the warmth. The alcohol warmth just hits you right there.
Yeah. This one, I mean, Storm King is already up and around 9%. Then you add a couple of drops of bourbon because it will come in from the wood barrels.
I mean,
and you're probably talking a 10% beer.
And you definitely get the bourbon on your tongue. It feels like there actually is bourbon sitting on your tongue.
And I like the vanilla that's coming out of this. I don't know if it's from the bourbon or from the stout, but you can feel the vanilla kind of going down your throat. It's almost cooling the alcohol burn. It's nice.
Right. Because there is an alcohol burn in this. I mean, it's not like some of we had the Curious, or the Curie, the Allagash, and that beer, it had a nice little bourbon flavor to it, but the bourbon it didn't feel like actual bourbon. It feels like they poured bourbon in here.
Yeah.
Because it really tastes kind of like you're drinking a shot with the beer.
Yeah.
It's 4 months in. This beer I wasn't big on when we first had it, just because it was so sharp and so powerful and so in your face. It seemed like it came at you from every direction. The hops were intense, the malt was intense, the bourbon was intense. Here, hops are toned down. The malt is still there. You get a little roastiness, like you said. The vanilla is really prominent.
Well, I think this was made in such a way that I think they want you to age it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great to crack one open and say, "Oh boy, look what I'm drinking."
Oh yeah.
But the complexity that went into this, albeit I don't want to say not much. Storm King Stout's always a great beer, and then you put it in bourbon barrels. This is meant to be aged. I mean, I'll bet we come 5-10 years from now, there's going to be somebody somewhere sitting on a bottle of this and say, "Now let's try it." So,
yeah. So that's all we have for you today.
So yeah, we'll see you in the next round.
I think on episode 2 we'll be doing bourbon.
We'll be trying some bourbon.
Doing some bourbon. That'll be
branch
fun.
away from the Scotch, getting a little heavier stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Even though it's not whiskey, but
Close enough.
Yeah. Cilantro. Cheers.
Take it easy.